Welcome to the grand final of the Australian AoE4 Championship 2022. So we've actually got our winner of Season 1 here, Hut, in the blue trunks on Rus. And it's best of 3, the opening game in the grand final up against Nunu, who's in the pink trunks on English. So Nunu having to fight through the losers bracket to get here, after having to face Hut early on in the tournament, but will it be a different result this time round? Get along the series, some different maps, and Nunu on English this time. So Hut, go for the early hunting cabin as well to get that third scout out. Pretty standard for Rus. You really want to try and get that deer. And Nunu actually not going for early wood gathering just yet, so perhaps not looking to go up to the, the 4 to 6 farms before aging style of play. Possibly looking at just going straight for the age up and pressuring, or maybe sneaking in the middle a little bit later. In fact, Nunu sending a third gold gatherer already, the house builder. In fact, deciding against that slight misplay there perhaps. A slight change of decision even. The players just scouting around Nunu, grabbing a wolf, which will deny Hut the gold generation from that. So the Rus bounty gold only up at 20 at the moment. That'll climb pretty quickly, I'd imagine. Especially as Hut now to the 3 scouts. So Rus versus English, well, I suppose the English player is nearly always going to open up with the council hall that's got the bowmen, but they don't necessarily need to produce a lot of them. Because, I mean, Rus, they do have the option of going for either horseman or knight harass, or just playing a fairly infantry-oriented composition. So Hut fighting a hunt over here. He hasn't actually cleared out this one just yet. I think he has seen it, but he's decided to take out the further one first, which, probably a good decision. I think no one's actually gone for this bottom hunt over here to the left, but this one over to the right has been cleared other than the one deer. But Nunu must have gotten to that one, just judging by the amount of gold. Only on 90 at the moment, but he will shoot up another 70 there. He does have plenty of wolves in tow. A lot of wolves in tow. 75 gold, another 50. So Nunu, is going for that quick council hall. So access to the bowmen, double production speed of them. But at the same time, because it can be quite an expensive investment into a civ that has access to a heavy cavalry unit in the knights, and they can also just go horsemen. So Hut, meanwhile, Golden Gate. So both these landmarks you pretty much could have picked ahead of time, but now in age 2, both our players could really opt for a second town centre. In fact, Nunu is going to do just that, while Hut, you sort of don't really know, because the Rus player doesn't necessarily need to gather any stone. If they bank up 200 gold and they wait a minute, they can just double tap, trading gold to stone at the Golden Gate, which actually generates the extra resources. And they'll have the stone for the town centre. So fortress as well. So not only is it going to ward off any potential investment in early bowmen, it's actually going to give a bit of a wood gathering steroid to our Rus player. So both players playing a fairly, greedy opening. There's not really any sign of early aggression here. I mean, Hut could have gone for an early barracks, I guess. Although, you know, against English you're always best off really going for an early stables after age 2. But Nunu not going for a barracks alongside the council hall, so other player's really worried about the other player going for immediate aggression. Actually, take that back, Nunu. Well, Nunu is getting the wood for the second town centre. Nunu's going to have to get all the way up to 550 to actually be able to afford throwing down a barracks as well. Because it looks like Hutt is going to go for these early horsemen, so be able to chip away at Nunu's eco, to get a villager kill, or at least deny Nunu the opportunity to really gather anywhere outside the base and outside town centre fire. So Nunu going for a very safe town centre there, but it also not a lot of walking distance. You're right on the berries, and I mean, being English, you don't necessarily need to worry too much about going on the hunts and then going on the berries and trying to delay the farms as much as possible. They're a civ that you can really just slam down the farms as soon as you want. Hutt, on the other hand, playing Rus, Hutt needs to try and take advantage of the free gold bounties, so like getting the boar kills like this, and on top of that, now that Hutt's at 385 gold, he's really exploded upwards on that. He's actually going to get food gather rate bonus for both hunt and berries. So it's really worthwhile going on board, because even though you do have that wood gathering steroid, it isn't quite as powerful as the cheaper farms for the English player. So Nunu effectively won't have to leave this English base here with a transition onto mills as soon as this berry bush is finished up. You don't have to worry about getting on the hunt. Hutt's going to have to get the boar, get this deer, and then possibly move on to these other deer or this next boar from here before he's going to really be tempted to go investing in farms because of the wood expense. And so, because of how safely Nunu's playing this, there's not really any opportunity for Hutt to come in and raid just yet. Nunu's actually going for some longbows, despite there being a horseman and no spearmen to defend them. Defend the bows against the horsemen just yet, but the spears will come, and Nunu won't really want to over-invest in them either. Because if Hutt is really only going for 1 or 2 horsemen and transitioning to a range, you don't want to over-invest in spears if you don't have to. And then you can get, you know, more bowmen out, really force your opponent to then have to field a lot of cav that they didn't want to, because Hutt will be fielding 2 rangers up against the council hall, which is effectively 2 rangers that produce improved bowmen. So the single horseman for Hutt is really just to try and keep Nunu busy, try and force little macro or micro mistakes, just give Hutt a lot of intel with the scout as well. He's keeping an eye on that back hunt, but Nunu is going to expand onto it, so no transition to the mill just yet as such. I mean to the farm eco as yet. Because I mean, if you do go survival techniques, you will get faster gathering out of that. You won't have to spend so much wood to be able to do so as well. At the same time, it is going to mean that the horsemen and the 2 scouts can come in, do a little bit of damage there, and try and force Nunu back, or at least to send some of the rally troops out, or to come and defend. So Nunu moving out in the field. Oh, but Hutt going to be able to garrison. So Hutt's actually going to start making a knight. So he hasn't actually... He does? Yeah, he does have gold gathering there. It's a really nice spawn for the gold for him there. Ooh, and the horseman's been picked off. A bowman will go down, but so will the scout, and so this other scout's not really going to be able to get any value out of that. At the same time, I don't understand what's happened here. Nunu's just tapped out. What? Only in game 1 and Nunu's already tapped out.